Good evening and welcome to TGP1 Season 33, Rounds 19 and 20. It is the final week of TGP1 this season. We're at Belgium and Abu Dhabi. And as you can see, 6 and a bit minutes to go. Corey is getting a massive slipstream from his teammate Khalifa. There is only 6 points, I must point out, between Corey and Machine Fishy going into the final week. So the title is not decided, of course, whereas the Constructors is, which did go to Alpha Romeo, of course. They are the fastest, hence they are the Constructors. However, final week it is the driver's title. So far in this qualifying session, Corey and Khalifa have been given each other the slipstream. So obviously they're really working well as a team, and I'd probably say maybe staying together next season as well, possibly, if they want to. But I don't see why you'd want to change a winning formula as it is. Speed Knighton at the moment, as we can see, is actually in 3rd place. Currently invalidated his lap, but he is starting a fast lap now. Only half a second off, so that's obviously not bad from himself at present. And actually, Corey then, on the top right, is 3/10 up on his time. So at the moment he's just a slight fraction behind his teammate Khalifa, but I definitely reckon going into this race and obviously the last race at Abu Dhabi, team games are going to be played with Khalifa. Obviously I think I'm trying to hold up everyone else and Machine Fishing. There we go then, a 43.0. I did say and obviously the discussions were, what would pole time be at both of these circuits. I did say probably a high 42, obviously give or take the conditions and incidents, etc. So we're pretty much there already, just a 10th off of that. But at the moment then, Panos has gone P3. Obviously Machine Fish is still in the pits at the moment. Speed Knighton then will go obviously with himself coming through P1 now. Avoid the inside curb, and he's actually running it a bit wide, but he keeps it within the white lines, which is obviously good to see. Very easy to take a bit too much speed through that corner, and then you end up invalidating it, which is obviously not really obviously something you want. But he's on a lap at the moment, currently P4, or 6 tenths off. What is he going to go? He's going to improve. He's actually down by just under a tenth on his time at present. Dan the Man actually is in P6 at the moment, so that's obviously not bad for himself. 7 tenths off. Spa, it is a long circuit. It's very easy for the gaps to be strewn out a lot more than the likes of Brazil, which is a very short circuit. However, yeah, it's dry. I think the race is going to be dry, as actually Speed 9 has came into the pit, so he is not completing it there. Aiden then also on lap coming into the final, obviously, little sector. Let's see if he's up. He's currently in P10, of course, 1.1. It's actually purple somehow. Again, don't know how accurate that is. 3 tenths up on his time, so that will probably put him, maybe P7, P6, give or take, if he nails obviously this final obviously chicane, the bus stop chicane coming up. 3 and a bit minutes to go as well before the end of qualifying. So it's now down to the business, as it were. People have got the bankers in. It is now time to push to the absolute limit. And Aiden then across the line, it goes to P8 there. And here we go then. Actually, we're going to go on board with the T-Cam with Jay Lucas. He's just started his lap. Obviously down towards obviously Arouge and going up it, of course. Avoid the inside curve because it will unsettle the car massively. Ride as much curve as you want at the top of it. Obviously, but again, beware of accidental corner cuts there. Obviously, along the Camel Straight. And here we go then. About 70 metres you want to brake. Slightly misses the apex. You want to try and ride these curves as much as physically possible, as well as this right-hander as Robojeep has retired. He's actually binned it, as you can see on the map, his racing point. Try and take a wide line into this next corner, and obviously straightens it out for the exit. Again, a lot of curve there. He completely misses the apex. So I think he's got a lot of understeer in that car at present. And then P1, avoid the inside curve. Perfect there, actually. Obviously not an issue at all with that line. That's what we want to do. Avoid the inside curve as it will unsettle the car. Nelly Griffiths has retired, so he's had enough, and that is P8. He'll be going no better there. And there's Robojeep's car, not in the way at least. And obviously a bit of yellow flags, but that won't make a difference to people's qualifying. And there we go. Jay Luke is 2.5 tenths up on his time, so that will mean Aiden is going to be going down in place. And I think Jay Luke at the minute will probably go P6, maybe even P5 ahead of Machine Fishy if he keeps this final chicane dandy and rosy up to the line, of course. Brake just after the 100-metre board. Try and ride the curb as much as you can. Try and take a tighter line into it so you can open up the exit and get the traction. Very hard traction area. And there we go. Then actually goes P3 J Luke, who actually goes ahead of Panos. So a very, very good, obviously, lap there. And obviously Paul into the final chicane as well in his bright red Ferrari, with the Williams right behind him as well. And here we go then, Paul currently P14, cross the line, he goes P9 ahead of Aiden there. I'm actually going to go on the T-cam with Machine Fishy. About start. This is probably good. Well, this is his last lap, so he needs to make this one work a treat. He is 6 points ahead at the moment of Corey going into tonight's races, and we'll actually show the standings at the end of qualifying as well. And here we go then, into turn 1, just after 100 metre, about 70 metre board. Try and take a late apex just to get that traction out of it. You want to get momentum down this hill, obviously through a Rouge, obviously all the way, obviously down the Camel straight there. Does he stick into 7th? He stays in 7th. No, he actually moves up into 8th. Sometimes you can stay in 7th depending on your wing levels, etc. But here we go then. Is he going to be up on his time? Is he going to be purple? We're about to find out in just 8 seconds time. And there we go. He's a 10th up on his time, but it is not purple. So he's only going to improve by 2 places. He's going to probably go P4 at present. But there are 2 other sectors to go. Obviously nothing to, there's no issues. He's not really got the pace as it stands at the moment with his title contender, title rival at the front. So the pressure is absolutely on Machine Fishy at this point in time. So here we go down into P1. As actually Phil Bargewell goes fast, a 43.0, and that was with Slipstream, I can confirm here. So obviously I think it's now Phil's turn to give his teammate Jean the slipstream on his lap, and as we can see on the map there. So everyone's doing team tactics, and it is fantastic to see. That's what your teammates there for if you're on good standing with them. But there we go, Machine Fishy 4/10 up on his time, so he will be going at the moment obviously P3, P4. Wait, it's going to be at least P4, but he may end up getting to P3. However, Corey I think is also on a lap. So here we go then, Machine Fishy into the final chicane again, about 70-60 meters before the break-in. Does he take a late apex? No, he takes a bit of a middle ground there. Not to worry though. And here we go then, Machine Fishy across the line, he goes P3, and Khalifa then is actually getting a slipstream from Speed Knighton at the moment. Speed 9 is also on a lap, so Speed Knighton needs to finish this. Knighton is down into P8. So Corey has invalidated his lap, and actually, yeah, there we go there. Obviously, Khalifa was getting a slipstream from Speed Knighton there, but here we go then. Khalifa across the line, is he going to be on pole? No, he's not. He doesn't improve. Phil could be on pole here. Obviously, Panos there. Panos round the final bit. He's actually 2 tenths down. I am hearing as well there has been a bit of a crash between Andy and Jovial Manatee, both on laps. That's not worked out for either of them at the moment. Jovial Manatee's 14th and Andy's in 12th, so they won't be improving, it seems, on their laps. So here we go then. Obviously Panos around the final 2 corners then. Bit of the odd line he takes there. He doesn't use all of the circuit on there. So here we go then, across the line. Panos in 7th at the moment, he does not improve, and then Jean in 15th across the line, he does improve, obviously up to 13th there. Jack Pearson then round, I think, the final corner, he is the last one to do a lap, I think, 14th, and he stays 14th, and that is a surprise. Phil Bargewell on pole at the moment. Now, I was not expecting that. I was actually making fun of Phil, how rubbish he is at F1 2019, so fair play to Phil Bargewell. He has gone pole position. However, I don't think he'll stay there because he's not that good of a driver, to be honest with yourself. Kidding. He is actually a decent driver. I've been teammates with him on multiple occasions as well there. So, fantastic for Phil Bargewell. Corey then, P2. Just misses out on pole position there. That does mean Phil Bargewell could very easily have a say in this World Championship. Again, Machine Fishy did manage to pull it out of the bag. He starts P3, not that far in terms of gap behind Corey. So, Machine Fishy is in the prime position, and that slipstream though, all the way down, past the Rouge and obviously up the Camel Straight, it is very, very powerful. It really is there. So, obviously, I think we're gonna be in for hopefully a damn exciting run. And that is the qualifying over. Of course, we're going to go over the grid in just a moment where everyone finished once it loads up there. So, we're going to find out in just a moment the full grid. There we go then, and look how small it is. The top 4 are separated by less than half a second. That is very close. Another 4 tenths back, half a tenth even, not half a second. Half a tenth, I can't do maths. J-Luke P5, only 4 tenths off, so it's not too bad. Speed 9, I think, will be very disappointed there. As we can see, everyone in the, well, everybody has gone the soft tyres as well there. And actually what I'm going to do as well is show you the drivers' standings at the moment. 6 points separating Machine Fishy and Corey going into this final week course. Aidan Griff is on 176 points in 3rd place, so he's fighting Khalifa. Obviously it is 10 points separating Aidan Griffins and Khalifa, so if Aidan does not rage quit tonight, then I think he should hopefully stay ahead of Khalifa. So then, as you can see, it is dry, as I said it was going to be. Not a single chance of rain, 0% chance of rain. I don't think there's a single cloud in the sky as well, but here we go. We're going to find out who's got the pace, who's got the balls to really dive up the inside. I mean, is Phil going to stay defensive? He's on the right-hand side. He's on the inside line into turn 1. However, realistically, you don't want to be going up a rouge and down that Camel Straight first because the slipstream is very powerful. He will have to use a lot of his ERS just on that part alone to keep heading. He will have to go defensive pretty much straight away as well there. So a few seconds then. Drivers are getting ready. They're getting prepped. Obviously, last little minute, preps there, and there we go then. 3 lights, 4 lights, perfect shot, 5 lights, and here we go for the second to last race of the season, and away they go. And there we go then. Phil gets a good start. Obviously, Machine Fishy up the inside of Corey then. Corey's going to try and hold it round the outside, and he actually does so that is good for him. Corey is still in P2 though at the moment. Machine Fishy will have the inside up a rouge, and actually there we go then. So Machine Fishy has backed out, and there we go then, and there is a safety car. So that has actually saved Phil Bargewell, obviously down that main straight, I reckon. So that is going to be perfect. Now this is going to be interesting. Is anyone going to pit now? Tyre wear is not a huge issue round Spa. However, you're going to have to pit. There's no point staying out. So I am hearing, actually, let's take a look at the tyres that everyone is on. So at the moment, Aidan Griffiths is in 11th. He's on medium, so that's not really worked out. And same with Jack Craig. Now, I'm sure Jack Craig is probably going to do his usual, stay out, be a bit of a bottleneck for everyone ahead. But, anyone on mediums, I think it's a bit of a pain. I think Aidan's best chance is probably pitting for a set of softs and then maybe in a lap or two's time, then pitting straight back for another set of mediums if he can do, depending on his tyre strategy. Because to be honest with yourself, those softs will not last if he pits now until the end of the race. However, we're going to have a look then. Is anyone going to pit? I think the 2 top contenders are probably going to pit. However, as we saw previous races this season, when everyone pits at the same time, people are going to tend to lose positions. And actually, I think Corey's probably in the better position there because he is going to be further down the pit lane. So it's going to be interesting as we go obviously down towards the final chicane. And let's see then, really. Is Khalifa purposely backing people up? No, he seems to be going at full speed. Again, that is a rule. If you purposely back up, then you can get a penalty. Obviously, it is 10 car lengths. You're behind that then, you'll receive. So Phil pits then. Corey pits. Machine Fishy pits. Khalifa has to stay out. Obviously, J. Luke, I think, is in the pits as well. Knight is in the pits. Everybody and their gran is in the pits. And here we go then. Are we going to take a look? We're actually going to stay with Corey and Machine Fishy. So we're going to find out then. And both wins are pitting, which means Phil Bargewell is not going to get out because they're going to queue. So Phil Bargewell is not going to be able to get out then, obviously due to that. And obviously everyone's changing positions there. And that's fine. Phil did manage to get out. Very easy. If those Williams had came in before he got out, he would not have been able to. And Machine Fishy has actually lost a position there to J. Luke while Corey hasn't. So as I was saying, Corey and the Alfa Romeo car is far better when it comes to these stats because he's further down the pit lane. So the top 4 obviously did stay out, but again, they are the top 4 now. So that is Khalifa, Aidan Griffins, Magic Poop Cannon yet again, and Jack Craig. So this time, Corey, Machine Fishy, and Phil Bod will now have to overtake not just 1 car, but 4 cars. And Khalifa staying out, he's probably not going to pit. He's going to purposely, I reckon, back up the field and be very defensive just to try and give Corey an opportunity to overtake where possible. So we're gonna be very interested. I'm pretty sure as well. Obviously, Khalifa and Corey are probably in a party together, speaking about it. Obviously, just so they can work perfectly in sync together. I mean, they was doing that in qualifying with the slipstream, so they're definitely in a party. There is no question about that. But it's an overall short race. Lap 2 of 11. Spa's a very long lap. However, the races do seem to go pretty quick due to the less laps, of course. There, and Khalifa there, I think, was not focused on there compared to the the safety car there, but nothing to worry about. And actually, let's take a look while the safety car is out in terms of position changes. So at the moment, of course, the top 4 have gained. I mean, Jack Craig and Magic kind of 14 and 15 places. Aidan Griffiths is 9. Then obviously Khalifa's gained 3 positions, of course. Phil Barger was down 4. He did start on pole, so that's pretty obvious. Corey as well. Jay Luke's only dropped down 2, so he again had a decent qualifying session. Well, Kyle is down in 14th. He's lost 8 positions due to that safety car, which is not good. Again, it's technically only 4 due to the people ahead of him obviously staying out, but yeah, and actually Jovial Manatee is all the way at the back, so not what he wanted. He was saying prior to tonight's races that he's just got no pace, got no confidence around Spa or Abu Dhabi. And I think he did say he goes well around Abu Dhabi on previous games. We'll have to wait and see whether he does well, obviously, compared to previous games. So, safety car is staying out for another lap. No surprise there. Again, it does stay out usually for 2 to 3 laps. But it's going to be an interesting restart as Magic Poop Cannon then has decided to pit, obviously, from, 3rd place. Not bad, I guess. I mean, I would have probably said he may as well have pitted when the safety car first came out. He would have had to, to sort of queue behind Andy, but I think you lose more time as Jovial Manatee is also doing yet another pit stop. Is he going to go on the soft tyres, or is it going to be another set of mediums? It looks like another set of mediums, and yes, it is. So not a bad strategy for him there, and he's getting a new front wing as well. So you may as well. He was at the back anyway. He may as well get a couple, extra laps on a new set of tyres. Nothing wrong with that. So then, down the Kemmel straight, a few cars weaving their tyres. Obviously, Khalifa currently in the lead again. Tarkers separated by 6 points. So, if one of these Tarkers has a bad first race, it could very easily be game over for the title potentially. So, I think they both want to be very careful. They don't want to make any mistakes, of course, and they need to play this absolutely perfectly. At the moment, Corey has the upper hand on the circuit. Obviously, currently, Corey P5, Machine Fishy is in P7. He did lose that position to J. Luke under this, obviously, the pits when everyone jumped in there. Very easy to lose a lot of time there, but, you could lose a lot more time if you stayed out for an extra lap. So, we're going to take a look, then I think the safety car will come in this lap. I hope it does, because I want to see some racing. That's what they're here for. Not... Oh, there's a bit of lag there from Khalifa. I think he needs to be very careful. I think Khalifa is from Bahrain, so he's a bit further out compared to some other drivers. I think a lot of drivers here are within the UK. You've got the odd one. Obviously, Magic Poop Cannon is from Estonia. However, he does live in America, New York, of course. Obviously, Jack Pearson, Jean, obviously in the UK. So we've got a multicultural, multinational as well league, which is always good to see. And the safety car is in this lap then. There we go. So we're going to actually go with Phil Bargewell, as he is the net race leader at the people who have stopped. But will he finish like that at the end of this next lap? Khalifa then back in the pack up. Obviously, nothing to worry about there. Jack Craig, bit of a weave in there. And obviously, Jack Craig does like to try and go defensive. Obviously, so we're going to take a look. So Phil Bargewell needs to get ahead of Jack Craig pretty quick, although Jack Craig, I'm sure, will not make it easy as Aidan Griffiths is in P2, so I'm pretty sure he's going to try and help Aidan Griffiths as usual. Hence, that's probably, I would say why he stayed out, but he started on the mediums. And when is Khalifa going to go? I reckon he's going to go sort of midway through the final chicane. There's no point going any earlier because then you just get giving people a chance to slipstream you, and I think he's actually gone already. So there we go. So Khalifa has gone. Aidan Griffiths, and actually, Corey's thinking about it already on Phil Bodwell. You can't overtake until the start finish straight, but Phil Bodwell's got a far better exit, and he's actually right behind Jack Craig. I mean, everyone's right behind everyone with the safety car, but he's a bit closer to Jack Craig than Corey is to him. And actually, Machine Fishy's also, I think, having a bit of a look at J. Luke. A bit of oversteer there, obviously, to Phil Bodwell, so he's going to need a bit of a slipstream, obviously, to try and get ahead of Jack Craig. Again, at the moment, no DRS will be activated, so Phil will want to get ahead of him as quick as he can. And Machine Fishy then is also pretty close to J. Luke. Is Machine Fishy, but not quite. J. Luke goes a bit defensive there, and here we go then. Phil Bodwell up the inside, nice as you like. Actually, Jack Craig didn't make that too difficult, but will he go defensive against Corey behind? And here we go then. So Corey will want to get straight past him as soon as possible, because this is going to have a massive impact. If Phil Bodwell, I'm trying not to use the commentator's curse here, if Phil Bodwell wins this race and Corey and Machine Fishy, let's say, finish there. And Jack Craig's a bit wide there, so that's going to allow Corey up the inside. Is he going to be up the inside at P1? He's thinking about it. Yes, he is, and that's a nice little move there. And obviously, Jack Craig has run wide, so that has allowed J. Luke up the inside. And now Machine Fishy's thinking about it. Will he go up the inside at the moment? And actually, Jack Craig's will run a bit wide there, but yet Machine Fishy has taken that place. So that is perfect. Now Machine Fishy's going to want to get straight past J. Luke. There's a yellow flag. Jack Craig is retired. Not too sure what happened there. He probably spun it on the curb. Very dodgy curb that is. And here we go then. Machine Fishy next to J. Luke alongside. He's going to have the inside for this next. And there's a safety car again. So that's interesting as Jack Craig has left. So here we go then. Is Aiden going to pit? I think he should. He may as well. He's got nothing to lose now. I think the safety car probably came out a bit too soon for Aiden. So Aiden, of course, does pit. Khalifa also pits from lead. Phil Bodwell has now got the reins at the front again. It is pretty much back to the way it was at the start of the race. However, Khalifa, due to that safety car as well, that's ruined his race. So is Aiden as well going to get how ahead of other people that are pitting? He's out, obviously ahead. He's ahead of, he's behind Khalifa still, but he's ahead of everyone else there. And I'm sure Aiden will have gone soft. Has he? Yes, he has. So that's actually may have worked out quite well for Aiden at the moment, because the tyre wear is not that great, or it's not bad, let's say. It's pretty good, actually, if I can speak English and get my words out. That may actually work out pretty well for Aiden come the end of the race there. So not bad there. Jack Pearson is also doing an Aiden strategy, getting a new front wing as well. So I'm not too sure. And he's actually gone hard as Jack Pearson, so he is probably going to pit the next lap yet again to get a new set of tyres on, if he's got any new set of tyres. Again, it entirely depends on, I think, what strategy of tyres he picked in qualifying. But yeah, we'll find out how that plays out a little later in this race. Same with Aiden. Obviously, the two Red Bull guys are pretty much at the back. Obviously, so not good for their points. And to be honest with yourself as well, Khalifa at the moment is not in a better position. So Aiden and Khalifa are fighting for third for the championship. Again, 10 points separating Khalifa and Aiden for third. Aiden in third, Khalifa in fourth. So it's going to be interesting. Obviously, those two are out of the points at the moment. So if they finish out of the points, it's not going to be too bad for either of them. And let's actually just double check the tyres that everyone is on. So all of the top 13 are on medium. So Khalifa has gone on the mediums, while Aiden and Panos is on the soft tyres. So we may see Aiden getting past obviously Khalifa, and maybe pulling away as well there. So I'll be very surprised. I'll be very surprised if Jack Pearson does not pit for another set of tyres. But again, if he's not got any fresh tyres of other makes, then I think is all out of luck in terms of pace and tyre compound. So the safety car is staying out for another lap, as we can see. It would have obviously shown on the bottom left. So that's two safety cars this race. So if we are lucky, there probably shouldn't be another safety car at any time, whether that is virtual or actual. So we should have a pretty much sprint to the end. Everyone's got their ERS saved up. Everyone's got their fuel probably saved up as well. So we should see. But Phil Bodwell, not used to being in this position in recent seasons. I don't think he's actually led a race all season. So until now, so he's led quite a few laps this race. But we're gonna see. We're gonna get racing, I think, at the end of this lap. Everyone warming the tyres there. Not really much to commentate on. Everyone's going, 130 miles an hour. It's pretty pedestrian at the moment. But yeah, this is the final season of TGP1 on this game. We will be back after F1 2020 does release, so that will be the next season of TGP1. No set date as of yet for TGP1 season 34, but it will be probably within, I'd say, a month or so of the game's release. We do have other leagues at the moment. Obviously, we're starting GT Sport at the end of May. We're starting another season of Dirt Rally. Obviously, TGP Dirt in a week or so's time as well. And then obviously we've got TGP1, TGP2, and then Season 4 of TGP Dirt all ending this week. So we've got quite a lot to look forward to in terms of TGP-related racing. Obviously, this lockdown, I think, has helped as well. No one's really got much else to do, of course. However, we've got a good lineup, at least over the next few months, whether there is lockdown or not. So, and as I nearly get scared of a bird landing on my window ledge. So yeah, it was a pretty big bird. So I think that was the most entertaining thing so far, is a bird landing outside my window. Oh, and as Aidan just pointed out, as you can't hear him, he said the only bird I get. He is correct. He is very correct. So, a nice little shot there, actually, of the cars. Obviously, all different cars there, then. So the safety car should be in this lap. I think Phil will probably go maybe after the chicane or mid-chicane, maybe a bit early in the chicane. We don't know. We don't know his tactics. We don't know anyone's tactics until they do it. But, and there we go then. Safety car is in this lap then. So Phil Bargewell, he's probably going to warm up his tyres a bit. He's going to be careful not to hit the brakes. Again, if he hits the brakes and someone goes into the back of him, it will be his fault. He is very smart at the moment as well, though. The top two, so Corey and Machine Fishy, if things finished like this, they would be level on points going into the final race. I'm actually hoping it does stay like this, to be honest with yourself, because it would make it a super exciting, a super tense final race, of course. But Machine Fishy, again, is 6 points ahead before this race. But yeah, it would be awesome to see a level on points. I think Phil Bargewell, as he got the pace, slipstream very powerful around here, and actually Phil Bargewell has gunned it already, so he's actually gone very early. I'd have probably waited a bit longer, because it is allowing everyone else to bunch up. And there we go. Look, Corey very late on the brakes compared to Phil Bargewell, but yeah, not close enough to attack again. Can't overtake until the start finish straight there then. But here we go. So it is a 4 tenths between the top two, of course. Second and a bit separating the top 4. Machine Fishy P4. Dan the Man a bit further back, actually going to be under attack any moment from Speed Knighton. Here we go. Through a rouge then. Corey a bit wide there. He needs to be careful of the top there. You can get a corner cut penalty very easy. And here we go then. J. Luke on Corey. Not quite close enough, as we can see Dan into the next set of corners there. Speed 9 and Dan the Man then. Speed 9 around the outside. Runs it a bit wide there, and Dan the Man slightly makes contact with his rear. No issues there though. Obviously nice and clean as you like. And here we go then. Ginger Andy thinking about it on Paul, but he darts back behind him, trying to unsettle him, I'd probably assume there. And actually Dan the Man a bit wide there. Paul McGuinness is thinking about an attack on Dan the Man there. So no bigs. And Phil spun it. Phil Bargewell has spun it. So as we said, and that is allowed. And actually there's carnage. There's carnage behind. Machine Fishy's crashed. Machine Fishy has crashed. That is possibly the championship over. And Machine Fishy's retired, so I think Machine Fishy, that's no points for Machine Fishy. So Machine Fishy is going to have a mega Abu Dhabi to win this title now. I am not too sure what happened there, but that is going to be, I think, very decisive for the championship. So Paul and Dan then. So It's very interesting, but that has allowed Dan the Man somehow to get into the points positions, in the podium position, should I say, as well as Paul then. So Paul is going to be gunning for that P2, as Khalifa has set the sort of... I don't even know what's going on anymore. I can't even speak. But that has actually been a massive match. So J. Luke, Machine Fishy were fighting for the podium. So Phil Bardwell actually caused all that. Phil Bardwell, I think, took a bit too much speed through, Puon. Got a bit out of shape, spun it. Everyone else taking avoiding action. And next thing you know is actually Khalifa's up the inside of Jean there. So that's another place given to Khalifa. So he'll be looking to get that podium back. Obviously, the podium position there. But yeah, so that was all caused by Phil Bardwell. As I said, I don't think he was going to stay in that race-winning position. And, commentators curse is striked again or struck again or English. I don't really know how you want to say that. But yeah, so not very good at all for Phil or the championship leader or the previous championship leader at the end of this race. There is a yellow flag, nothing to worry about there though. But here we go then. So this is going to be an intense fight for the last podium position. Everyone's separated by half a tenth here, half a tenth there. Ginger Andy is looking to get that podium. Bit wide there from Khalifa. That's lost him a lot of time. Obviously to Kyle. And then we've actually got a battle behind then. Aiden on Jean-Luc Taylor. Here we go, slipstream, very powerful. As I've said around here, he's going to try and go around the outside. Will Jean try and break later than Aiden to block him off? Aiden's thinking about it around that side. Again, Aiden is on those soft tires and actually makes it work. Perfect move there. As Corey sets the fastest lap, of course, a 4.68, and that was a nice and easy move from Aiden Griffins there. As Magic Pumpkin has retired from the race. He did, I think, crash on that lap as well there. So, not good for himself. But Aiden is on those soft tires. Everybody else ahead, as we can see, is on the medium, so he is going to have far quicker tyres. I think it's about 6, 7, and Paul spun at the top of a rouge, and there's carnage again. Khalifa is out. I don't know what's going on anymore. I have got no clue. Now, I don't actually think Spa's supposed to be this difficult of a circuit to just complete. So I don't really know what to say anymore. There's so much carnage going on. You'd expect it to be at Monaco, not Spa. As Phil Bardwell then, obviously all the way down in 10th place after leading the race for half the race distance until he bottled it. But Corey 3 seconds ahead of Dan the Man then. And actually here we go then. Panos is looking at Jean then. Paul... Only not Paul even, fucking Panos. Round the outside of Jean. A bit of contact there, actually, I think, between Jean and Panos. I think Jean may have moved back across on the brakes. I'm not too sure. I don't want to pass any judgment. But this was the closest battle. But I think the closest battle at the moment then is actually Ginger, Andy, and Dan the Man. And Kyle, 6/10 between those two. And actually about a second and a half between Dan, Andy and Kyle, and then Aiden Griffins as well right there. Bit of a gap between P5 and P6, but this is the battle for the podium. Aiden Griffins, I think, is going to close up pretty quickly on this trio of cars ahead. But here we go then, Dan the Man moving straight off the racing line, and here we go then, Ginger Andy with DRS. He'll be smart to wait. And actually Dan the Man goes very wide, so maybe that's a tactic from Dan the Man potentially to try and get that slipstream, but he's nearly losing a place to Kyle there. Kyle slot straight in behind them, but that may have been very smart from Dan the Man. Andy will have the slipstream, but he will not have DRS, so Dan definitely was very smart. Then here we go, Aiden right behind with DRS as well, and here we go then, Kyle. It's a free wide going into the next corner. Who's going to come out? And Kyle actually up the inside, in close. Dan the Man just holds it there, and Aiden Griffins is right behind, waiting, lurking, and Andy has lost a place there in that little melee. Dan the Man played it very smart. I think he knew that the DRS was going to be powerful, and the slipstream, and he purposely went wide, allowed everyone else to lose his slipstream, so he gained it, and he made it stick. So fair play there. Oh, and Aiden, of course, bottling. Of course, Aiden bottles it yet again from a potential podium position. So that's not very good for him. I think he's done a lot of that this season, of being in good positions. And Phil Bardwell then has retired. So Phil Bardwell's in the barrier. So everyone's in the barrier. I don't know who's not going to be in the barrier there. And here we go then. Jean on Panos. Obviously on this back street there. And obviously I think Jean is getting very aggressive with Panos at the moment. There's no need though. There's one lap to go. But Panos is on those softs. Jean is on those mediums. Again, I think Panos did pit relatively late, so his tyres won't be going off, but obviously Jean will have that slipstream on to the final lap as Corey has started it. He's 4 seconds ahead now, and Kyle is actually only 2/10 behind Dan the Man. It's actually Dan the Man's done it again, so Dan the Man is purposely playing this tactic of allowing him through. Obviously, however, he's going to have to try and do something out of the back straight, of course, but very smart from Dan the Man there. You know, this is why he is a champion. He can play it smart. He can use some good tactics when he's able to, but Kyle not really going defensive, of course. There's not really any point because he would have been passed anyway, but here we go. Then we're actually going to stick with this battle. And oh! Kyle then. Kyle, you know, really squeezing Dan the Man at the apex. That has not worked for Dan the Man. I think Dan the Man may be a bit unhappy with that move. A bit of contact there. However, Dan the Man, realistically, providing Kyle does not make any mistakes, has got the final of chicane to really stick it to him. So I think it could either work in Dan's favour, or that may have been it. I think we're going to see fireworks. Andy in P4 waiting and lurking. I don't think Dan, and actually, never mind for Andy there, but we're going to stay and focus on this. And actually, Kyle's put out half a second on Dan the Man then. So I don't think Dan the Man's going to be able to mount an attack, of course. So yeah, I think that battle is over for the time being. Jack Pearson currently in 7th place, behind Ginger Andy, of course, even though he was, you know, I will say Jack did get a new controller just the other day, and he apparently found 8/10 during his sweat sessions, but it's clearly not paying much, obviously, benefit for him. He's in the points, though, at least, but we'll see come the end of the race. And then Corey then around the final corner. He is now the championship leader by a country mile across the line. 19 points he is, and here we go then. So it's 20 points there, and there we go then. And Dan the Man does get P2, so Kyle did have some sort of penalty. Andy does finish P4, Jean P5. He did get ahead of Panos, however, Panos did have a penalty. Jovial Manatee picks up a nice amount of points there, of course. Jack Pearson finishes ahead of Aidan Griffiths because Aidan is a bottle job yet again, of course. Paul, very disappointed, I think Paul will be. He was fighting for that podium, and I think he crashed on his own. I think he lost it up a Rouge. I think he may have, you know, tapped the inside curb, and that was him round. So it's all his own doing, as well as Paul. Obviously, Paul, his own doing, Aidan's own doing, and obviously Phil's own doing as well. So there's a lot of casualties there. And there we go then. This is the podium, and Alfa Romeo yet again wins the race again. Yet again, 3 different constructors on the podium, and Corey did get the fast lap, so it's not 19 points, it is 20 points. So I think, you know, the way the title is going to work now, I think Corey's going to have an absolute shiter of a race, and Machine Fish is going to have to win for the title to go to Machine Fishy. So yeah, I'm not too really sure what happened there. I think that, you know, that title swing was actually all down to Phil Bardwell, so I don't think he really wanted to have an impact on the title himself, unless he was winning the race. And him spinning, it was absolute carnage, and you caught it perfectly. If anyone wants to rewind to that moment, then you catch it perfectly on the stream. So I think that will be, you know, probably part of a review there of some sort for people. But there we go. That is your race. Dan the Man did get P2. Carl is in P3. Andy just missing out on a podium position. Jean started P13. I think he'll be very happy with P5. Jovial Manatee also P15. Finished P6. Aidan Griffiths, I think we're very disappointed to say he finished 9th. So here though, however, you know, that it means it's even harder for Khalifa, obviously, to beat him in the championship. It was 10 points. So that was an interesting one there. Very, very interesting. And actually, I'm actually going to have a look at the replay of Machine Fishy as well, because, you know, we've actually got a bit of a a replay cam from Jay Luke. You won't be able to see it on the stream, I will point out. And yep, everyone's avoiding Phil Bardwell. Jay Luke actually goes off the circuit, half spinning, so he's completely out of control, of course, due to avoiding Phil. It's very bumpy on the exit of B1, of course. And then, Machine Fish has absolutely nowhere to go. Goes straight into the side of Jay Luke, and they're both off into the barriers, of course. So that's not good for Machine Fishy at all. So again, it's going to be an absolutely spectacular race if he's gonna win the title now. But yeah, I think we've been slightly robbed of a really hard title fight. It was looking very spicy up until that crash, but if you're going to go out in style, if you're going to go out, you may as well go out in style. And Machine Fish definitely went out in style, that is for sure. But the final race then, it is Abu Dhabi at night. So yeah, it's there could be an interesting tactics, I think, in Abu Dhabi. I think Machine Fish is going to have to go guns blazing, dive bombs left, right, and centre, and he's going to probably have to try a Hamilton-Rosberg tactic in 2016. If Machine Fishy does get ahead of Corey, I think he's going to have to try and back him up into the pack and hope, that Corey bottles and cracks under the pressure. But again, it's going to have to be a spectacular race for Machine Fish and a terrible one for Corey going into this race. But you never know. This is F1. I wasn't expecting half of the field to crash in a place like Spa, and they did. So you never know. You never know. Spa, very easy circuit to do, really. So I'm not too sure what happened there. And I would like to say as well, I mean, Phil Bardwell, he loves a good bottle. He does love a good bottle, to be honest. So he bottled a race win. He really did. I mean, there's no excuses there for Phil Bardwell. I'm sure he won't mind me saying that. He's actually in the party. I can hear him laughing in the background for the viewers. But yeah, Phil definitely is a bottle job in every aspect. No matter what league it is, he bottles it all. And also Mr. Chiapelli crashing at Spa as well. Clearly got no skill. He's not very good. There, but yeah, it's an interesting party that I'm in at the moment with everyone in my ear, especially Phil Bardwell, laughing that he binned it. But yeah, it's dry then. It is dry in Abu Dhabi. Shock horror. And I'm gonna hazard a guess as well. It may be dry in the race as well. It's always dry in Abu Dhabi. I don't actually know if coders have ever implemented rain at Abu Dhabi. They have it at Bahrain. It does rain at Bahrain, but I wonder if they've ever implemented it for Abu Dhabi. So, as I said, Phil, I said Bahrain. But yeah, so it'll be interesting to see if it ever rains at Abu Dhabi. And I'm actually hearing as well on the team radio side of things that Jean, I think, has been getting very frustrated in that Spa race with either people, his own driving instances, I'm not too sure really, and also Phil Bardwell, the old man that he is actually about 50. He's the oldest person in TGP, pretty old if you ask me. He is he's the soothing force in that Toro Rosso team. So that's the one. He may not have the pace, but he definitely does have the soothing voice, and the team. He did get pole, so he's got pace, but he's not got the consistency to win races, clearly. Anyway, more importantly for the driver bashing, let's get on with the qualifying, because we're just watching the pits at the moment. And actually, Jean is the first driver out at the moment in his Toro Rosso, so I think he'll be trying to calm it down. I think this race, he needs to just wind his neck in, as it were, just focus. You need to just focus on the job at hand. Forget about whatever happened at previous races. You just need to perform now, and that is what it is all about. Qualifying, you've got 18 minutes to do it. As Jonas takes out the bollards there. Nothing wrong with that. Those bollards just get in the way if you want to take the perfect line through that chicane. A lot of curb riding is required at Abu Dhabi to get the absolute max out of it, really. But yeah, so a lot of people out on their outlaps at the moment. Obviously, we are going to stick with Jean as he is the first one. to sort of start a lap. And we are going to go on board with him on the T-cams. Obviously, Dom Smith has rejoined. I think even though he disconnected, sadly, so he is just spectating as well as myself. He's me spotter. But here we go then, Jean into turn 1. Not bad. Try and take a late apex. Take a lot of curbs there. Avoid the curb on the left-hand side because it can unsettle the car. Again, avoid it on the right-hand side. Try and use it a lot on this left-hander as coming up as well. Preferably not that bollard out. Perfect from John as there. That's perfect there as well. And I think Jack Pearson ahead of Jean is going to give him a tow. And there he is in the Red Bull, also the Red Bull family. Obviously, so yeah, Jean is getting a bit of a tow from Jack Pearson. He is purple in first sector. Of course, he's the only one who's done the first sector. Bar the 4 cars behind him. But yeah, there we go. He's going to get stopped for this corner. Very easy to lock up at this corner. You want to take a tight line in just to to open up the exit, which he does perfectly fine there. Nothing you can do down this DRS straight. You can use a lot of this curb on the right side. It's just painted as well, so it doesn't lose. You don't lose any time. Ride the curbs very aggressively. Not quite as aggressive as I would on the exit there or the entry, but people drive differently. I really like to rag it around. Obviously, very easy to lock up at this corner without ABS. A lot of drivers in TGP I do think use ABS, some don't. But here we go then, a lot of curb riding, not quite enough curb riding there I'd say as well. Very cautious of this exit. You can very easily invalidate your lap as well as this final corner ride. A lot of the curb, not quite as much, but not bad. Unsettled the car a bit, and he does go fast as a course, as he's the only one that's done a lap. Jack Pearson then will come round to start his lap right behind. So will Jean, give that a bit of a think, as it were. Will Jack Pearson now get the slipstream from Jean? We will take a look. And actually, Roy then has set as Dan the Man has retired. Then so Dan the Man has binned it already. So that's not really what he wanted. We're actually going to go with Aiden. I think Aiden's coming up to that corner, and it's this next corner, so he's probably hit the barrier on the right-hand side. Yes, he has, and there we go then. So he's right in the middle of the corner there. So that's not good there for Aiden. That's ruined his lap. He's going to come straight into the pits there. I'm not sure if he would have ghosted at all. So I think Aiden was taking it very cautiously there, which is fair play to Aiden. There's no point going straight through and hoping. Corey then and Machine Fishy have also set laps. Obviously, Machine Fishy at the moment is ahead by about 3/10, and for some reason Corey Machine Fishy gets completely out of the way of Corey there. Bit of an over-exaggeration, I think, on getting out of the way, although I don't think Machine Fishy really wanted Corey to get that slipstream off him, no matter how slow he was going. But yeah, so let's take a look then. So Mr. G. Pelly's in the pits. Paul is on an outlap. So we're going to go with Paul then. Everyone else is in the pits or just not showing up, whether they're in the pits or not. So yeah, that's fine then. So Paul then starting a lap. Obviously in the Ferrari. Will he be Ferrari next season? Will he be in TGP1 next season? Obviously, probably. We don't know yet. Obviously, I'm just a commentator. Picked the number 14, so I don't know if it's an Alonso fan or not. But I think Mr. Cheapel's also got the number 14, I think. No, yep, he has. So Mr. Cheapel and Paul having the same number. I'm not sure how that works, but yeah, it does in the game. But here we go then. So Paul may have a bit of a slipstream from Mr. Chiapelli ahead of him. No, I think he's a bit too far back at this point in time. And actually, yeah, Mr. Chiapelli gets right out of the way. Paul not really thinking about that slipstream all that much once he moved over. So I don't think Paul's too keen on that. I think he just wants to focus on his lap. It's very easy when it comes to slipstream to, the car ahead to think, oh, he wants to go on that line and move to the right, and then it ends up turning into a crash. So and it's actually gone purple, apparently, Paul has, in the second sector. It's mainly just straight, so he may be running a little less downforce than everyone else, or he may be running a lot of downforce. We don't know because Cody's, of course. But a lot of people in the pits at the moment. Obviously, Paul and I think Panos and Andy Rice are on laps at the moment. But we're going to see where Paul goes. Obviously, currently not set up. Only 8 drivers at the moment have set laps. So, of course, Paul will move up from his position. There, and here we go then. Paul around the final point. He's run out of Urs already. but Paul is 12th, and he goes P6, so very good from Paul there. Not bad there. Then Mr. Chiapelli has started his lap as well there, and he did go up to P7 on his lap. So Mr. Chiapelli then is on his lap. He's on the soft tyres. Let's have a look as well on what tyres are everyone on. Everyone's on the softs. Not a single person is on the mediums. I don't see why you'd want to. And Mr. Chiapelli apparently has gone purple sector on there, so he's doing what he needs to at the moment. Obviously, he needs to try and help out his teammate. I don't really think they talk to each other or anything. They are teammates, just in the same team. Doesn't mean they're mates. But yeah, he's purple first sector. And the title is not over. It can still be won in this race. It's not over as Robojeep has retired. I think that may have been in the pits, so I don't think he wants to do it here. So yeah, it's going to be very difficult for Machine Fish to win it, but the title is definitely not over until the Fat Lady sings, and there is no Fat Ladies in TGP1 as far as I can tell. And Mr. Chiapelli then, purple, middle sector. So apparently he's going to go quickest as things stand. Whether he does or doesn't, I don't know. Again, his code is now pole time. I am going to say round here it will be a high 33, a very low 34, I reckon. Pole position last season was a 33.8 or 9 by Matt DeBoss, of course. So we'll see. I think it will be very close, if not slightly slower. But I think no one has shown their full hand yet. And actually, Mr. Chiapelli then has invalidated his lap on the second to last corner. Very easy to do round Abu Dhabi. It's very easy. Again, you need to ride the curbs very aggressively to get a very good lap. But if you ride it too much, you're going to invalidate it very easy. I think this is one of the easiest circuits to invalidate your laps, of course. But here we go. Then Machine Fishy currently on provisional pole position by a couple of tenths. Taking it very wide there. And we're actually going to go on the T-Cam on board with Machine Fishy. I want to see how it's done by Championship contenders, of course. Very late on the brakes there. Takes a lot of momentum through the corners there. Avoids the curb on the left-hand side. He avoids it on the right-hand side. You can attack it, but you need to be careful because it will unsettle the car. And here we go, this left-hander then. Will he ride a lot of the curb? Yes, he does. Perfect. Inch perfect there. He avoids the right-hander because that will unsettle the car and just, make you run wide. Hard traction zone out of this hairpin, of course. He's actually got 2 wounds behind him, so they're going to be getting a slipstream, of course, as well. So he needs to be careful of that, but he needs to get more laps, and he does not want to waste a single lap at the moment. He wants to ensure that he is the fastest in qualifying there. Not bad there. You can ride that right-hand curb as you come back onto this straight very aggressively, and it actually works out quicker to do that if you nail it, of course. But very easy to unsettle the car if you do get it wrong. He's actually purple. He's up by a tenth and a half. Then avoid the left-hand curb, ride this right, and ride this left. Not quite riding a lot of it as I would. There we go, perfect yet again. So some corners he's riding the curbs a lot, others he's just avoiding them very slightly. Very easy to lock up here with that ABS. Inch perfect yet again. They're a bit wide on the curb, but nothing to worry about. Again, this left-hander, a lot of curb ride, and they should just change it. And Khalifa has actually gone into P2 ahead of his teammate, just half a tenth behind Machine Fishy there. But is Machine Fishy going to improve on his? I think he should do. He was up by a tenth and a half, and across the line, and there we go, a 4 tenths he improves by, so that is fantastic. And Corey is coming into the pits then. He has given up on his lap. And Johners there. Johners has hit the barrier. He nearly did a Dan the Man there, but he actually got away with it. So he's very, very lucky in full barge, but also coming round. Bit of oversteer there. Round the final corner. In his Taurus. A very nice helmet he's got there. I think it's chrome and pink, and he moves up to P9 there. So that's a good lap from Phil Bargewell. At the moment then, there's not that many people on the laps. I think it is just Jack Pearson and Jovial Manatee. We're going to stay with Jack Pearson though, as he is the furthest around at the moment. Obviously, nice little camera view there. This is the worst camera angle ever. I just hate the halo. I hate some camera angles on this game, but we're going to have to deal with it. Avoids that curb, and actually on the right hand side at the moment, the barrier where Dan the Man and John went into, it's actually sticking out slightly, so people are going to be very careful of that. And actually Jack moves up to P8 then, and where does Jovial Manatee go? P14 at the moment. He stays P14, so he's the last of the runners. And Panis then is also on a flying lap, currently in P9, a 35.2 there, so Panos is on that lap. Obviously a racing point, of course, but yeah, I think a lot of people, I think, may end up hitting that barrier. On my screen, it does show that it's out from where it is. So, yeah, we're going to see. We are going to see if anyone bins it into that corner. So we are going to see there. But at the moment, Panos is the only one on a lap. Paul, Andy, and Aiden are on out laps. So we're going to go to them next. So here we go then. So Panos is obviously in P9 at the moment. You know, I think he wants to improve. I think everyone wants to improve, of course. So yeah, we're gonna have a look as well. Eventually, when Panos gets round, there's the yellow flag. I don't think that's anyone crashing. It was actually, I think, one of the Red Bulls just letting the Williams by, of course, on Panos around the final corner. P9 goes into P7, so that's obviously not bad for himself then. And then Paul then is the next one to be on a flyer, and he has invalidated his lap, as we can see there. So, whilst we're not going to watch him, we're going to watch Paul. So I think Paul will definitely want an improved race. He had a very good pace in that last race, but sadly he got a bit of an incident at the top of a Rouge on his own, which caused carnage. So yeah. So the championship then, obviously that is the most important one here. If Fishy wins this race, Corey will only need to finish P7 to clinch the title. Now, that's difficult. Or 8th if he has the fastest lap. So it's gonna be an interesting one. It's gonna be very difficult, of course, but you never know in F1. A lot can happen, and a lot does happen, especially in TGP 1. There we go then, Paul. Round the final 2 corners. There he goes. Second to last corner then. Avoid track in there. Perfect there. Nice final corner. The last corner on this game is actually quite nice at Abu Dhabi. And he goes P3, so very good lap from Paul there. Half a second improvement on his lap. So that is fantastic. Obviously, Magic Poop Can there has invalidated his lap. Panos then, I think, is on an in lap as well. No one's actually at the moment, I think, on flying laps. Aiden Griffins is actually, I'm talking shite. Apologies for the language. Is Aiden Griffins going to improve on his time? He's up by half a tenth on his lap. So at the moment, he's going to improve by 1 position, which is not really where I think he wants to be. He wants to be right at the front. He's got the pace to. He's shown many times this season that he has the pace to be a consistent podium finisher and a potential winner as well. He has won this season. However, it could have been far more. I think next season Aiden will be looking to get that consistency back. Last season he was very consistently at the front, which was good to see in his Renault. But he is a bit inconsistent as Carl has retired then. So I think Carl has called it quits. Aiden goes into P3 then, so very good there. As I'm saying, that is only half a second then off the fastest lap at present. So Mr. Chipelli and Magic Poop Cannon, currently the only 2 drivers who have not DNF'd, as Aiden has retired there, so he thinks he's not going to get another lap in, and there's only 2.5 minutes to go, so he won't. Obviously, Mr. Chipelli then has the slipstream from Jean. That may be tactical. If Jean moves straight out of the way now, then it definitely was tactical there, and yes, that is perfectly fine then. So that may have given Mr. Chipelli a fair bit of a gain there, maybe 1 to 2 tenths at present, but we're going to find out into this next corner if he's up on his time. He is going to be up on his time because he doesn't have a time, and it doesn't even show obviously what what he's up, of course, on his previous time, because he hasn't done one. He's not purple though, so it's not going to be fastest, but he's got he's going to have a big margin, I reckon, if he wants to try and get up to the top. This will be his own lap. If he does go for a second lap, tyre around here, previous games, it was not the greatest. I think even on this game, it's not all that good. Oh, very close to that barrier there. As you can actually see, it sticks out slightly. So luckily, no one's binned it into that barrier yet, other than Dan the Man. But no one else. And here we go then, Mr. Chiapelli around the final corner. And he goes to P12, so not bad there. I think that will be his runs over then. Phil Bargewell is on lap P13. He got pole position in the last race. Can he do it in this race? It's going to be a tough ask. This is going to be the only lap that he has got to do it, and he's currently down in 13th. Second 1.2 seconds off the current provisional pole, so he's going to have to improve by some margin, but we'll wait and see. Is he going to be up on his time into the split? He's up by a tenth and a half, so I don't think he'll be challenging pole. A bit wide there, Phil Bargel, and a bit too much speed. A lot of curb riding there, which I like to see. I do like a good curb ride, obviously depending on the corner. But yeah, Phil Bargel I think will improve by 2-3 positions, depending on how he does in this final sector. Again, from Phil Bargewell to Knight in 8th, there's only pretty much 3 tenths. So if he improves by over 3 attempts, then he's going to gain quite a few positions, but it's quite difficult round the final split, unless you bottled it previously, which Phil's used to, especially Abu Dhabi. And there we go, can't speak English. He does go into P6, so he actually improves by a good margin in that final sector. I'm actually going to go with the top 2 then. So Machine Fish is currently a quarter of a tenth down, and Corey didn't get a good lap, so he's doing a second lap on those tyres, so that will mean he'll probably pit. I think the pit strategy usually around lap 4 around Abu Dhabi. That's how bad the soft tyre wear is. So obviously Corey is going to have to do his lap on there, and there we go. The Machine Fishy, is he going to be up on his time? He's down by just under a tenth. However, Khalifa's then gone pole. Khalifa has gone a 33.6, should I say. So that is fantastic for him there. But Corey then is up on his time by quarter of a tenth. So Corey needs an improvement there. He's got Paul Aiden Machine Fishy ahead of him. Again, Corey does not want to be in any incidents in this obviously lap there. Machine Fish then the final 2 corners. Is he going to improve? He needs to gain 4 tenths to be on pole, and I don't think he's going to do it. Well, it's at a mega final sector. And does he improve? No, he doesn't. He was down by 2 tenths there. But Corey then through the final 3 corners then he avoids obviously the wall on the right hand side, which is sticking out still. Again, this is going to be his second lap, so I think he'll be hard pressed to improve by a huge amount, but you never know. He is 6th at the moment and he goes P3, so he improves by actually half a second. So I'm chatting shite yet again, as always. So he's right behind his championship contender, so he's in the prime position then at present to clinch that title, bar any mishaps, of course. And this season of TGP has been very interesting. The title from week to week has swung from Machine Fishy, then to Corey, and back and forth, of course. So you never know. It could be one more shift that we may not see it. Here we go then. Khalifa's got yet a pole position. Just over 3.5 tenths. Machine Fishy's in P2. Corey P3. Aiden not very. I wouldn't say he's disappointed with that. P4. Knight in a very happy P5 there. Paul P6. J-Luke P7. Phil Bardwell 1.1 off. I think that's fine there. P8. Panos P9. Jean is in P10. Andy is in 11th, so he's going to have I think he's going to. I think it'd be stupid for anyone to go on the mediums, but you never know. Obviously, there's going to be a safety car. I'm pretty sure of that. There always is in these races these days, with the safety car consistency, of course. But yeah, the final race then of TGP1 Season 33 is about to get underway. On F1 2019, it is going to be the last race on this game until 2020 comes out. And Abu Dhabi, it's going to be interesting. So all of the drivers getting ready. Khalifa got pole, of course. That is his 3rd pole position all season. So he's definitely a common person, common driver at the front of the grid. However, if Khalifa wins this race, Machine Fishy will not be the champion. So it's going to be difficult. It really is going to be very difficult for Machine Fishy to win the title, but you never say never. Never say never. And here we go. As a motorbike goes past my house. Thank you. Here we go then. 5 lights on then, and they are away. Has Machine Fishy got a good start? Not quite. He usually gets very good starts, but clearly not today then. He does keep P2 though. Obviously nice and clean, as we can see. Obviously near the front of the field. Obviously, but the front guys got away nice and clean. And Ginger Andy And here we go then, Aiden on Corey, thinking about going around the outside then. He's very careful, and actually Aiden's been whacked in the rear by Speed Knight in there, but I think that was more Aiden, anything else there, and Paul and Knight, and so that's Paul up to P5 then, and obviously Knight down to P6. Obviously there's battles going on behind them, so Phil Bardwell on J. Luke for P7, obviously with his teammate Jean right behind him there. J. Luke's running quite a little downforce there, but will Phil go around the outside? He's thinking about it, but he doesn't quite make a stick. And actually, J. Luke there, nearly rear-ending Knighton, which obviously closes it all up there. So that was very, very close there. Very lucky for J. Luke not to bin it there. And here we go then, Kyle and Panos for P9, side by side as well there. So Panos not quite being able to get past into P10. Actually, Mr. Chiapelli there, actually late break, and actually just pushes Panos off the circuit there. So that was very, very dangerous there, and that's allowed Dan the Man obviously alongside Panos there, but Panos keeps it. And here we go then, Jack Pearson thinking about it there. But that's interesting. I'm not gonna watch that. I want some clean racing, of course. And here we go then. So the top guys fighting for the title, the important ones, the top guys, the fastest. As Panos has retired, so I think Panos has had enough of a virtual safety car then. So he's not going to pit. Aiden Griffins is pitted, so that's perfect for Aiden Griffins. That is going to work out very beneficial for Aiden Griffin's race. Again, it's about lap 3, lap 4. I think usually is when you need to pit. Obviously, Knighton has also pitted. Phil Bardwell's pitted. Robert pitted. There's a lot of drivers pitting at the back. Sadly for Khalifa Machine Fishing, the top 4-5 guys, it's going to be very difficult there as Speed Knight there gets, I think, a new front wing as far as I can see there. But Aiden then obviously is in P10, so the safety car has ended, but it is close at the top. Then Corey right behind for Machine Fishy. I think, to be fair, Machine Fishy cannot afford to slow down. If he was in the lead, potentially, but he has to win this race or he will not be champion. As simple as that. Will Corey dive up the inside? Is he thinking about it? He's trying to distract Machine Fishy, if I can get my words out. Riding a lot of the curb there is Corey. I think he hit it slightly wrong, but at the moment, Khalifa, I don't even think Khalifa has to do anything to help Corey, because if it finishes like this, Corey will be the world champion. Obviously, simple as that. So, it's looking difficult for Machine Fishy at the moment. He's in a Alfa Romeo sandwich at the moment. However, Aiden Griffins is in P10, 7.5 seconds behind P9, but he has made his pit stop. I think his tyres will be a bit worn at the end, but he's gained a lot of time by pitting under that virtual safety car. But obviously Machine Fishy is taking a lot of pressure. As Corey then has got a penalty, it's not gonna, again, Corey has to finish P7 with Machine Fishy winning, obviously, so it's still easily in Corey's favour at the moment. They've got, Paul's pitted from 4th place there. So at the moment, then they've got a pretty big gap to P4. So Corey's still got it very much under control. 5.7 seconds between Corey and Jean at this point in time, of course. And is Paul going to come out behind Aiden? I think he probably will do, of course, but we're going to stick with the battle for the front. And yep, obviously Paul slots in behind Aiden, then, as we can see on the tower on the left-hand side. Obviously, Aiden is 19 seconds behind the race leader, so as things stand at the moment, I think he'll be pretty close to him taking the lead of this race. And let's actually have a look as well while we're watching the battle for the lead, of course. Obviously, no battles, no overtakes at the moment, should I say, but tyres them. Top 5 guys, all on the soft tyres. Dan the Man, obviously, and a lot of guys on the mediums then. So from P6 downwards, everybody else is on the mediums. So yeah, obviously Dan the Man, Robert G and Magic Boot Cannon all started on the medium tyres. Aiden, I think, and everyone else below that have pitted recently, of course. That is why it shows 1 lap. But it's very close at the front. I think Machine Fishy is not taking any risks at the moment, or Khalifa's just quick enough in the right parts that you can't really get through, of course. I mean, Khalifa, let's have a look at the ERS. So ERS is all about the same for the top 3 guys, all around 65 to 70%. So it's no one is really, and Corey is in the pits then. Corey is diving into the pits while the top 2 stays out. So Khalifa then can really play a team game and actually hold up Machine Fishy. Again, there's not really a potential need to. Again, Machine Fishy has to win this race in order for him to be champion, with Corey finishing 7th or lower. However, Corey will come out in traffic, of course. Aidan Griffins, and where is Aidan Griffins going to come out? Well, where's Corey going to come out in relations to Aidan? I think Aidan's definitely going to do it then. Obviously, Corey is going under the tunnel. Aidan is round turn 1, so it's pretty close. Aidan's ahead at the time being, and for the moment. And here we go, and Aidan is ahead then. What about Paul? Is Paul going to get him? Oh, there's a car off. There's a Mercedes off. It's Magic Boot Cannon, so nothing to worry about there. And Paul McGuinness did not, obviously, get ahead of Corey there, so not quite making it stick there. But yet again, the gap at the front staying about half a second. I think they should both pit. It is the right strategy at the moment. Obviously, their time's going to be 1 lap younger than Corey. But here we go then. And Khalifa's not deploying much ERS at all there. Obviously, that was a massive closing speed. But again, you know, I think Khalifa doesn't really care. You know, as long as he doesn't overtake him, you know, he's holding Machine Fishy up here. So it's you know, it's an interesting one. It's a bit like 2016 with Hamilton, Rosberg, and then we'll see Vettel right behind. But we're going to see. I think they're both going to pit this lap. I think that's the only strategy, of course. So here we go then. Are they going to pit? Yes, they both pit then. They both pit. And is Khalifa going to go very slow? And Corey and Aidan then right behind. So Corey has closed up on Aidan. Again, he is on a lot fresher tyres, but is he going to be able to overtake? Will Aidan help out Machine Fish again? There's no allegiances there. You know, they don't talk at all, of course, as Jean now takes the lead. But Aidan Griffins, you know, has got a battle with Khalifa for P3 in the championship as well. So, you know, if Aidan holds Corey up too much, that's going to allow Khalifa to potentially win the race. Ooh, bit close there. Very close for Corey. And there we go. And there's the 2. Perfect shot, actually. Perfect shot. So I think the top 2, Khalifa and Mishifi, are going to come out ahead of these 2. Just. That is very close. The top 4 now are very close. So Aidan didn't quite take the lead of the race. However, Robo Jeep is going to have a bit of a you know, a job on his hands at the moment. So RoboJeep is the bottle here. Is Khalifa going to go up the inside of RoboJeep? RoboJeep does not go defensive, of course. And what about Machine Fishy? Is Machine Fishy going to get him as well? He's a bit too far back, I think. Is he? Not quite. Not quite. And yes, he does go for it then. So RoboJeep holding it on the outside. He's going to keep it on the inside there. Nice and easy there. So Machine Fishy, perfect as you like. But here we go. Aidan Griffins and RoboJeep does have DRS. Is RoboJeep going to go defensive? Not really, no. I think he knows this is not his battle, of course. Aidan up the inside. Nice as you'd like. And what about Corey then? Corey, and this is not really the place you really want, so Corey has caught him at the wrong time. But I think he'll probably go up the inside of this next corner. He's going to have much better tyres, much faster pace, of course. And is there? He thinks about it, but RoboJeep goes defensive then, so that's very interesting. Is RoboJeep trying to help out Machine Fishy? And actually, there we go, it's not making much of a difference. He gets straight out of the way. I think he more understands than anything there. So Dan and Luca then, obviously, Mr. Chiapelli now leading this rate half a second. So Dan the Man is, of course, going to be in the position to get DRS. This lap, of course, but you know, at the moment Dan the Man's got 13% ERS, Luca's got 38, so you know, he's going to probably run out and lose engine power, Dan the Man, on this straight if he tries to put in a higher mode than high. And he's using overtake and he's using hot lap, so he's going to run out and he's not going to gain anything. I think the only thing he's going to gain is the DRS a lot. Yeah, not gaining much at all. So Dan the Man, I think his best strategy at the moment, it should be save the ERS. Again, while you're behind the car in front, you're going to gain all that time back on Slipstream alone, so you can run lower ERS modes and still not lose any time, of course. So here we go, the second DRS, and again 6% ERS, it's in the orange. You know, he's not gaining at all. So Luca, obviously Mr. Chiapelli, does not need to go defensive at all. No need there. And actually Jean and Knight, and then side by side, obviously down in P9 and P10, obviously very close between these two. It is fighting for the points, and J-Luke right behind these two as well. So any incidents, and J-Luke will be right there. And it's free wide going into chicane. J-Luke up the inside of both of them. Knight and holding it around the outside, and then John has lost, I think, 2 positions there. So not good for Jean there. He is now out of the points. So it's very important that he gains it a bit further there then. And Corey on Aidan. However, Dan the Man, only 3 attempts as Mr. Chiapelli has pitted them. So he is in the pits, and now Dan the Man leads. But here we go. We're going to go back with Aiden and Corey. Corey right behind Aiden then. So at the moment, it's going to be very interesting to see, as things stand, who is going to finish third in the standings, because Aiden beat Khalifa in that last race. But if Khalifa wins and Aiden finishes a third, fourth, he'll get, it'll be 1 point. I'm hearing as well, 1 point between them in Aiden's favour. And here we go then, Corey thinking about it, but Aiden has to finish ahead of Corey, of course, as well. So it's going to be very interesting. Obviously, Aiden is definitely going very defensive, but I think Corey's going to have the DRS. Aiden's got 35% ERS, Corey has 70. DRS wide open. Aiden going very defensive there. And obviously, you can't go any more defensive because you'll be on the grass and in a spin. And obviously, Corey's got the DRS though. Is Aiden going to try and outbrake him? It's going to be a very late move. He does. He's thinking about it. Not quite. Not quite a bit of contact there, front wing to rear wing. And Corey is ahead. So this means then, as far as I can tell, that Aiden will not finish P3 in the standings. But again, we will see. It's P7. And there we go. Aiden around the outside. He's thinking about it. He got the DRS. Not quite. Corey going very defensive. Nice defending there from Corey. Obviously, ran him out of room, so he couldn't go around the outside. Obviously, and Aiden does not have the pace, I'm hearing on team radio, to match Corey there. So Aiden needs Machine Fishy to overtake. Obviously, Khalifa, and Khalifa then is still 3/10 behind. Obviously, Dan the Man, pretty much. Obviously, they're all 3/10 behind, pretty much 6 to 4/10. I don't even know that it's just changing all the time. And Dan the Man has pitted then, so that means Khalifa will not get DRS on the DRS straight in a few corners' time. So here we go. So Machine Fishy again. Aiden will be rooting for Machine Fishy at this point. If Khalifa wins and Aiden finishes where he is, Khalifa will finish P3 in the championship, which is not one, obviously, to do there. Obviously. So here we go, lining it up then. Obviously, Machine Fishy will be trying to get a good exit out of it, take a very wide line onto the straight, just try and get that extra traction. Again, Khalifa and Machine Fishy have roughly the same ERS. So here we go then, Khalifa going very defensive, very early. It's a bit of weave, and then he's been very careful of that. Machine Fish then, I'm not too sure why he didn't go up the inside there. I don't know if on Machine Fish's screen maybe Khalifa's lagging, but he could have very easily have just gone straight up the inside there. I'm not too sure why he did. But Jean then and Speed Knight for P6 side by side. Jean's through. Will Speed Knight go up the inside? He's thinking about round the outside. Not quite making it stick there, but he's going to have the DRS then on Jean onto the second DRS straight. But is he going to be close enough? DRS wide open then. Jean will stay defensive. It is a DRS train at the moment. Speed Knight around the outside, and he actually dives it, and he hits the barrier there. So that was a big mistake from Knight in there. And now Jay Luke's around the outside and nearly getting the position there. But Jay Luke then and Mr. Chiapelli now side by side. It's getting very tasty between these guys. Obviously, no inch given, or no quarter given, should I say. But that has allowed, obviously, Jean to pull a bit of a 7/10 gap now. But this battle for pretty much P6, P7 is, I think, at the moment the hottest one on the circuit. But Aiden then has dropped by a second that lap alone. So Aiden is struggling there, but it's 2 attempts pretty much between Khalifa and Machine Fishy. Will Machine Fishy this time dive it up the inside? I don't know why he didn't go for the move that last lap. Maybe he's waiting, maybe he's thinking, I'm going to wait for the last few laps. The only issue is waiting until the last few laps is if you get a bad run out of the corner, that's your chances gone pretty much. So, I'm not too sure. Machine Fish logic, I'd rather get ahead and then just defend, and thought this time he's not close enough to lunge it, but he's got another DRS zone, of course, to go. But yeah, I think Machine Fishy needs to get ahead and just defend, of course. But here we go then. DRS wide open. Is he going to be close enough into the chicane? Is Khalifa going to go defensive, of course? And yeah, he does. Machine Fishy's going to have to go around the outside. I think Khalifa will try and break late and just run him out of road. And yes, he does there, as we can see. But it does mean he's got a bad run out of it. But Machine Fishy not quite on a tight enough line to get alongside. He would have hit his rear otherwise. But this battle for the lead is very tight, very close. Obviously, it is for the title as well. Corey in P3. Ooh, very close there for Machine Fishy. I think at this point in time, Machine Fishy does have the pace on Khalifa. However, any incidents, obviously between these two, Corey will take the win. And again, we've seen it at Japan. 3 guys fighting for the win, and it all ended badly for 2 on that occasion. But here we are. 3 tenths separating the top 2, and Corey is slowly closing in there. Obviously, Mr. Cheap did make a good move on Knighton to take P7, of course. He's 2.2. And Machine Fishy there, bouncing along the curbs there. Again, you don't want to do that, and that is allowed. As I've said, you're not close enough, you make mistakes. And now he's got to gain all that time back. And that's cost Machine Fish. He's now got 3 to 4 laps to go, and he's got to get back in that DRS zone. He's got to close it up. That one move that he did not make could have cost Machine Fishy a possible win. He could have very easily gone up the inside a few laps ago, and he chose not to. So he's now got all the work to his Jack Pearson, has retired in the pit, so he's had enough. So that does mean Ginger Andy, even though Ginger Andy has barely played F1 2019 and Jack Pearson has sweated a lot this season, Ginger Andy is clearly the more skilled driver and will finish ahead in the points. So congratulations to Ginger Andy on obviously beating Jack Pearson, of course, and Knighton and Dan the Man then, as Panos has disconnected there. But here we go, Dan the Man will have DRS on Speed Knighton. Speed Knighton being very cautious when it comes to defending. Obviously right up against the barrier, but Dan the Man has made it stick. Will Speed Knighton go back on the inside? Speed Knighton's up the inside, very late move from there. Obviously Dan the Man around the outside, and he's kept it there. So very good driving from Dan the Man to keep that position. But J. Luke is very close, and Machine Fish there gets a penalty. So that is pretty much, I'd say, that the title over, unless Corey scores no points, which he's got a gap to the guys in front and behind, so he can just coast it home, and the title will be his. But yeah, a bit disappointing there. But we're going to stay with the battle at the moment for P8, P9, P10, and P11, and P12, because they're all together. And Machine Fishy has crashed them here in, so Machine Fishy has done it. So Corey is going to be the title. It's going to be his. He is going to be the Season 33 champion. And this also means that Aidan Griffins will finish, if things stand as it is, he will finish P3 in this race. And obviously he will be, it'll be Corey, Machine Fishy and Aidan at the top 3 in the standings there. And here we go there, as the fight for the final few positions. Jovial Manatee right, obviously, a lot of pressure, let's say, a lot of pressure from Phil Bargewell. But as we can see, Jovial Manatee running a lot of, very slippy in a straight line. But here we go then. Goes very defensive. Phil Bargewell will have to go around the outside. Will Jovial Manatee outbrake him and run him wide? He thinks about it, not quite though. Nice, easy there for Phil Bargewell. Perfect there. And actually just ahead, it's J. Luke and Speed Knighton side by side. So Speed Knighton's about to lose another place. So it's not going as well as he thinks there. And J. Luke is up the inside then. And then Jovial Manatee and Phil right behind these guys. Jovial Manatee obviously is keeping that position. P10 at the moment. This is again the fight for the final few positions. It is the closest one on the circuit at the moment. It's the most exciting as well, I would say. Obviously, Corey 4.2 behind Khalifa at present. Aidan another 8 seconds back. So I think the top 3 are going to stay as it is in this race. Whereas Paul is also at 4 seconds behind there. But obviously Phil Bargewell is really hustling Jovial Manatee in the final few corners, the final sector at the moment. Any one of these 4 drivers could finish in the points. I mean, Phil's just out of it at the moment. He needs to be very careful though. J. Luke, I think, is actually pulling away very slightly from Knighton just ahead. But it is coming onto the final few laps then. Who is going to get the podium? I think we all know who's going to get the podium, the top 3 as it stands. Obviously, Paul McGuinness is 3.6 behind Aidan at the moment. He's going to have to gain a good amount to get on that podium, of course. As Phil Bargewell gets a penalty, so that's not going to help. Not going to help his fight for the final point. So Roy may have this one secure in P10, but then Roy is going to be closing in on Speed Knighton. It's only half a second, and he's closing. But Speed Knighton does have DRS still on J. Luke ahead. So Roy, Jovial Manatee, could get a few more points, depending on penalties as well. Roy loves a good, high points position when it comes to other people's penalties post race and at the end of the race. So. And here we go then. Jovial Manatee has got far better straight line speed than Speed Knighton. Speed Knighton basically just leaving him no room there. He needs to be very careful of that because Jovial Manatee had all the right to be there. And if that caused an incident, that would not be good for either driver. But Giovinazzi is running out of time. And I think at this point in time, Knighton has lost the DRS with J. Luke ahead. So I think it's going to be a very intense battle, this one for P9, of course. And we're actually going to stick with this one, as this is pretty much, the closest battle on the circuit. As well, saying that, Ginger Andy is only 2 and a bit tenths behind Carl at present, but this is the biggest battle. There's more cars in this battle than the fight for no points. So I think they'll be getting prepared again for the DRS zone. I think that's the only major overtaking spot on this circuit. It keeps the cars close, but the layout means you can't always attack. And I think Phil Bardwell's getting very out of shape there. He's actually lost 1 second pretty much to Giovinazzi ahead, so I think he got very out of shape through turn 2 and 3. But Giovinazzi then within DRS half a second then. At the moment, Speed Knight has only got 13% ERS, and he's running at no ERS down this straight. So Giovinazzi should get him. He should go, obviously, around the outside, it shows. Knight will probably try and go up the inside. Yes, he does. He outbrakes himself, but Giovinazzi will get the DRS yet again on this next straight. But Giovinazzi just needs to send it up the inside and hope for the best at this point there. And here we go. He's going to go around the outside. And will Knighton dive up the inside? He thinks about it. He's going for it. Yeah, that was never going to work for Speed Knight in there, and that's cost him a lot of time. That's allowed Phil then to close back up to this little battle. But Giovinazzi is going to be gone now, I think, after that. So obviously a few points there for the Sea Cow himself, and Jean is 6 tenths behind, so that's fine then. But obviously Jean P6 currently. And actually, Mr. Chiapelli's actually closing on Paul. So, will Mr. Chiapelli get a P4? I think that's probably one of his best results in TGP1 this season if he does get P4. So, and possibly his last race in TGP1 as well. So, we'll have to wait and see. We'll have to wait and see what the drivers do next season. Obviously, do TGP1 drivers, who's going to move down to TGP2, who's going to move up. So that's going to be an interesting one. But Mr. Chiapelli then half a second behind Paul. Machine Fishy's decided, you know what, I don't care. I'm not going to win the title. I'm going to go for the fastest lap though. So fair play to him. Obviously there, obviously Mr. Chiapelli then thinking about it on Jean, not quite making it stick there. Not quite as late on the brakes as I think he'd want. And it's actually ran wide, so that's not really what he wants. He's still in DRS though of Paul, but he's not really going to be able to do it then. But we're going to go with the front then. The 2 Alfa Romeos rounding the final few corners. Will they do a photo finish? It's 3 seconds at the moment. And there we go then. So they have dominated this season. They've won the Constructors' title. And now Corey is about to cross the line to become TGP1 Season 33 champion, and congratulations to both of them. They have done a fantastic season. They really have. And then Luca then is not going to be quite close enough to Paul, but again, it could get, and actually Luca's way off there. So I think Luca's just decided, you know what, I don't care. Anyway, and actually, I think he might get him. Oh, yeah, I think that was a bit, I don't know really. I don't know, because Luca did go way off and just purposely do that, so I don't really know if that really. I mean, he's finished behind his 7th place. Luca is. However, yeah, interesting. I'm not sure Luca should keep that position if he finishes ahead of Paul come post-race penalties, as he purposely tracks under to gain that position. So yeah, that's my opinion, but we'll see what the stewards say. And Ginger Anna then is one of the final drivers, obviously in P14. He did have a few spins, I think, that race. And then Machine Fishy, obviously doing a few spins there. He did well. He did well all season. Again, it ebbed and flowed between him and Corey. He did all he could. He really did all he could. Spa, it wasn't his fault. It was not his fault. It was a racing incident, but these things happen, sadly. Sadly, luck sometimes is not on our side. And yeah, he did everything he could. I think if that sport incident hadn't have happened, he would have been in a very good obviously positioned to win the title, but sadly not. Sadly not, really, but there we go. There is the podium, 2 Alfa Romeos and a Red Bull. This means that the top 3 in the championship is Corey, Machine Fishy, and then Aidan Griffins, of course. So Aidan Griffins could have been a lot higher. He could have potentially been in that title fight if he hadn't kept crashing, hadn't have kept rage quitting in races this season. But, on to the next season of season 34. Again, it's going to be on the brand new game. And there we go then. They are your race results for the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. Khalifa wins, perfect, obviously, for himself. Corey finished P2. He did all he could. Aidan Griffin's a fantastic P3. Paul P4, and Aidan Griffiths did beat Khalifa by 2 points in the end there. Jean P5 from P10. Very successful there. Dan the Man P6. Mr. Cheaply P7. Although, I think his penalty may get removed, so he may finish ahead of Paul, but then again, his last corner antics, I'm not sure about that. J. Luke in P8. Jovial Manatee, he did get some points, no penalties there, so fantastic for him. Speed 9 did get the final point position. Kyle, P11, obviously P12 there, and that is your good Machine Fishy out of the points, of course, after his crash. But that has been your racing for this season. Obviously, join us potentially for next season, obviously, whenever that may be, whenever the game comes out, of course. Obviously, it's been a pleasure commentating this season. I'm glad I could have commentated the entire season, thanks to lockdown, I will point out. But that has been your racing. It's been an absolute pleasure. See you all next season.